Welcome back to Pips-N-Chits. Today I will be playing Call to Adventure, a game designed by Chris and Johnny O'Neill and published by Brotherwise Games. And today I will be playing a solo adventure. So without further ado, let's first talk about the setup. The setup here, you can see there's a lot going on here. I only have so much room on my tabletop here. So I figure I'm going to break this video into its three separate acts. We'll first start off with the setup section of it, and then we'll go ahead and transition to act number one, where we'll go ahead and play all the act cards up here in this part of my video. And then when we transition to act number two, we'll go ahead and remove those and play, put the number two cards out here, and we'll do the same for act number three. As you can see, I have the cards separated for the origins, the motivation, and the destiny here. We'll go ahead and pick those in a second. I also, in the solo game, we need to pick an adversary, and adversaries only show up in the second act and in the third act. And of course, the third act adversaries are a little bit tougher than the second act. So we are going to pick a second act adversary here by random, and we'll get their associated card that goes along with them. The adversary wins the game if they get up to 5 of these experience tokens. And you can see this is an experience token here. And right above the solo mode card here, I have the Rise of the Adversary card. And this is more or less going to kind of control the AI to a certain degree of these cards here. We also have our anti-hero deck and our hero deck, and I'll have to shuffle these in a few minutes. But before we go ahead and shuffle these, I want to make a note that's saying in the solo game, there are certain cards that you have to remove from the anti-hero deck, which will become part of the adversary's deck. Now, how you can tell that is if you look at these cards, there's a little skull symbol down here at the bottom. If there is that skull symbol there, that belongs to the adversary, and we'll go ahead and shuffle those up in a minute. But as part of the setup, we have to pick our origin. And so I've taken all the origin cards, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle those up real quick. And I'm going to deal 2 by random to myself, and we will go ahead and pick 1. So we'll just take 1 and 2 and see who we want to start with. We could either be a merchant or an apprentice. And the merchant starts off with intelligence and charisma, and his special ability is once per turn, when you fail a wisdom or charisma challenge, you may pay 2 experience to try again. Or we can play the apprentice. And the apprentice here has dexterity and intelligence, and once per turn, when you attempt a wisdom or dexterity challenge, you may pay an experience to gain a hero card. So I kind of like that apprentice card. So we'll go ahead and we'll start as an apprentice, and we'll go ahead and get rid of the merchant card here. And then we'll go ahead and move on to our motivation. Same thing. We're going to shuffle up this deck of cards, and we will deal 2 to myself, and I will pick 1. And so there's 1 and 2, and set these off to the side right now. And let's see, my motivation can either be, I have a thirst for knowledge, and once per turn you may spend an experience to gain a wisdom until the end of the turn. Well, that matches pretty nice with my apprentice, so that's looking kind of promising. And then we have the Sworn Protector. Once per turn, you may spend an experience to gain Constitution until the end of the term. Well, I don't know too many apprentices that might be a Sworn Protector, but it's possible. But I think I kind of like this Thirst for Knowledge for a little bit better here. And then finally, we have our Destiny card. And what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to keep that secret from you. I'm going to have you guess to what I have. So bear with me. I'm going to shuffle 2 cards to myself, and I'm going to go ahead and pick one of those, and I'm going to keep it face down until we get to act number 3 or until the end of act number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video just for a second while I go ahead and take a look at these 2 cards. All right, I'm back here, and I went ahead and picked my Destiny card, but that will be revealed towards the end of Act 3. And now we need to pick an adversary, and we'll go ahead. And again, the adversaries are not as strong as the adversaries in Act number 3. I'm only choosing from deck number 2 or Act number 2, and we'll randomize one of them. And we will pick we'll get the associated card. So I got the Mad Cultist here. And the Mad Cultist, in order to beat the Mad Cultist, we have to get at least 6 successes here. And now I've got to find the associated card for the Mad Cultist here. So let's see if I can find it. Well, I'm going to put this on pause again, just so I can find the right card for this one. Okay, went ahead and rearranged my table a little bit to hopefully get everything in view. So let's talk about what's going to happen here. We have our runes here, the basic runes right here, and our dark runes. We start here with our tracker, our virtue tracker here at the neutral space, starting with 2. And I have given myself, as per any game, the players start with 3 experience. I have an experience pool up here. There are more tokens in case, I need a couple more, I can grab some. We have our actual player board here. I have the solo card and the Rise of the Adversary, which I talked about earlier. We also have the adversary and his special quest card. And any time that one of the runes, one of the generic runes that we throw, if we happen to throw this symbol here, the adversary will play from his deck a card, that one of the anti-hero cards, and we have to do those effects immediately and then discard that card. If this deck ever runs out of cards, we just reshuffle everything back up and start a new deck. I have a deck of cards here for the anti-hero cards and hero cards here. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these and deal myself out 1. We always start with 1 card or 1 hero card. So go ahead and put that, shuffle these up, and we will go ahead and deal myself surprise attack. Play this before you attempt a challenge. You can add a strength or a dexterity rune to your attempt. So we'll go ahead and we'll just keep that down here for now. Also, we're going to go ahead and shuffle up the anti-hero cards. And we will go ahead and shuffle up the adversary's deck as well. Remember, these are his cards. And give that a quick shuffle. And then finally, last but not least, we will shuffle the Act 1 cards. And we'll go ahead and lay out 4, I believe, of the Act 1 cards. And if there's ever an ally that comes up, the ally will immediately get tucked behind a challenge. And if there's anything that looks illegal, we'll go ahead and deal with it at that time. That's generally if we have all allies. We just only a challenge can only have 1 ally at a time. So if I ever pull more than 1 ally, we'll go ahead and remove that. Okay, apologies for the little bit of a rough cut. For some unknown reason, my document camera software just shorted out on me and closed the app entirely, so I had to kind of see what was going on with my camera here. But we haven't started yet, so we'll go ahead at this point now and reveal our cards. We have Studious. We have Enlist the King's Army, which gives one destiny point at the end of the game. We have Rebellious, and move that over, make room for this card number 4, Escape Your Pursuers. So what do I have here? Well, I have Dexterity and Intelligence here as my main runes. And I want to, when I defeat this adversary, I do want that Strength and Wisdom down there, which I don't seem to have anything right now. However, getting 3 successes with just some basic runes right now might not be enough. I do like getting this wisdom card right now, or excuse me, intelligence. That will give me another intelligence rune later on. If I come against any intelligence ones, that's relatively easy. So I think we'll just go ahead and grab Studious, and we'll go ahead and tuck that under here. So that will be our first card. And mind you, in order to move from Act 1 to Act number 2, I have to have at least 3 cards tucked under here. So I have 2 challenges, 1 trait, don't like this rebellion, 1 right here, rebellious. So let's go ahead and add the next one. Okay, we have Secret Royalty. You may only gain this if you discard a hero card or spend an experience. Well, I'm not sure I like that one either. I think maybe we will go for Escape Your Pursuers. I need 3 successes, and I get my 3 basic runes plus that dexterity rune. So maybe we go for that. I kind of want to save this right now. I could spend my surprise attack and give myself a rune there. I just don't know if it's worth it right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the 3 basic runes. And again, like I said, we get 1 dexterity rune. So my odds here is that this counts as 2 successes anytime. This is always considered 1 success, and the main symbol is always considered 2 successes. I have to get 3. So my odds are pretty decent. I don't think I want to get a dark rune at this time or spend an experience. So we'll just go for it, see what happens. And wow, I failed. So I needed 3. I only got 2. As a consolation prize, well, before I even do the consolation prize, we draw a card from the anti-hero or the adversary deck because we threw this card. It says, choose any hero to sacrifice an ally. If you sacrifice your own ally, you gain corruption and 2 experience. Well, right now, there are no allies out there. I have never received an ally, so we're not going to do that. But unfortunately, as a consolation prize, though, I do get this experience token, but I failed that challenge. And you know what? I have a feeling too. I got to check the adversary deck. It says when you fail a challenge, the adversary gains. Yep, he gains 1 of these experience points right there, and I lose if we get 5, or the adversary gets 5. So not a great start. This card, unfortunately, is discarded. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. We have Survive the Flames. That is a challenge for 3 that uses wisdom and constitution. That does not help me at all. I only have dexterity and intelligence, so I might need to spend this card right here to guarantee myself something. The only thing that kind of looks promising to me is enlist in the king's army. Because this would, if I beat this challenge, that will at least give me a strength rune, which I might need for the adversary here. That'll give me a point as well, a destiny point at the end of the game. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't like that I'm only get 3 the basic runes. So we'll go ahead and play surprise attack, which will allow me to add a strength rune to this. And we will also, I'm going to go ahead and pay 1 experience to go ahead and roll a dark rune or cast a dark rune as well. So I'm just tucking this card here at the end just to remind me that we played that. So I have no hero cards left. We'll go ahead and cast these runes and hopefully, we'll achieve enlist in the king's army. Wow, great. 4. I needed that. Wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. That's just enough. So we succeeded there, and we did not go down on the virtue track. So we completed enlist in the king's army. That gets me my second of 3 cards. We'll go ahead and tuck that under here. We need 1 more card to move on to act number 2. We'll go ahead and reveal this card here. And it's excel in your studies. Well, why not? That looks promising to me because if I can get that, I will get a pair of these icons here at the end of the game, and that will, if I have at least 2 of them, that scores me 2 points in the set collection. I have 2 of these intelligence runes, and this one needs intelligence. So we'll go for excel in your studies here. Oh, that's too bad. I don't have. Well, you know what? I'm still gonna go for the academy, but instead of excel in your studies, I think I'll take the learn deep lessons, because if I get this, that will go ahead and get me a wisdom rune. That will also get me a hero card because I don't have any hero cards. And that will help me also at the end against the adversary. So we will go for deep lessons instead. So we get our 3 basic runes, as you see here. This takes wisdom, or excuse me, intelligence. So I will grab 2 of the basic intelligence ones here. And I think my odds are pretty good. I just need 4 successes. I don't want to cast a experience point for a dark rune, so we will just go for these say 5 runes and hopefully get 4 successes. And there you go. There's 5 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got it easy peasy. So we'll put our runes back. And we went ahead and got this, and that immediately gets me a hero card. And this hero card is Dazzling Wit. Play before you attempt a challenge. I may add a charisma or intelligence rune to the attempt. So that's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and tuck this underneath there. So that also nets me in the future 1 of the runes for wisdom there. So as you can see, we might as well go ahead and just show you what the next card would have been. It would have been Arcane Ability. That being said, though, we are done with um, Act number 1 because I have 3 cards here, and we would go ahead and move into Act number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video right now. We'll go ahead and clean up the Act 1 cards, and I'll go directly set up for Act number 2.